Right, so you may have already seen the technical video that we've done when we got Sean the boss in to talk about the key points in the new Waggler. So if you haven't, the link is above, so have a little nose at that. It's worth a bit of the story about how these Wagglers came about. But what I thought, while we're out with the cameras, it'd be silly not to talk about the sexy little things, the things that to me as an angler were more important than the intelligent stuff that Sean comes out with. For me, it's about them working in the right way and the little things that make them work as well as they possibly can when it comes to Wagglers, because flipping it, I never believed how intricate it could be in producing the right float. And definitely for me, it was a few key things that needs to be focused on, that if anything, they made it difficult to produce the Wagglers really, really well, or made it harder because Wagglers needed to incorporate these few things. And that's what I want to babble about that we were talking about first. First up was making them land properly. And although, of course, casting comes into that, using the correct kit to make your floats land properly, but there were two key elements for me in making them land properly, in that they have a flat base. So there's an elimination of a disc, making them faffy about it. They have a flat base, but the weight's still heavy enough for it to lead the way whenever you cast. So it's not wobbling about your float. It goes straight, but because they've got a lovely flat base on them, they're stopping in the water a little bit better. Yeah. On a flip side to that as well, a flat top was also vital. Yeah, I played about with Wagglers for a long time, and an issue that I was getting wrong for many years was using a dome top Waggler, which I think it's something to do with the pressure on the top of the water. It drags it down easier. It slips through the water easier if it's got a tapered tip. So having a flat top on them as well as the flat base just makes them settle so much quicker. Less chance of them diving, and you're fishing better, you're fishing faster. It's not going among the fish and messing your thing up. So that was a key thing for me, was for aerodynamics, a flat base and a flat top was a huge selling point. So the second thing, and this is something that Sean flagged up through the development of the actual floats themselves, was that we were trying lots and lots of other floats, of course, while we were trying to produce these floats, and we've used many different floats over the years. And when you actually looked at floats in detail, none of the floats that we were using actually were what they said on the tin. Yeah, all the pellet wagglers that you buy, they tend to say 6, 8, 10 gram, whatever, which is generally the loading. They're telling you what the loading is on the Waggler. We've gone down a different way altogether, and when we're telling you it's 6 gram, 8 gram, 10 gram, 12 gram, that is what the entire float actually weighs. That's the weight that you're casting, which is also, that's more important. So I know exactly what I'm chucking, not just what that lead is, plus the weight of the float. So these, they are what they say on the tin. If I'm chucking my 6 gram Waggler, I'm casting 6 gram. If I'm chucking my 12, I'm casting 12. And for me, it just makes it a lot more simple to understand what I'm chucking. I mean, I'm a big fan of using, in most situations, the lighter float that I can. And now I know exactly what I am casting. I know I'm casting a 6 gram, not a 6 gram loading plus who knows what weight of balsa. So that was a key thing as well. It just makes me a bit more, slightly a little bit fussy if I'm honest, but it was something in my Waggler fishing that's important, so I know exactly what I'm chucking, and that were a key thing for me to make them exactly how I want them. And so the last thing that we've pretty much covered with Sean himself, it's the durability of them. You will never, ever get a Waggler that is more bulletproof than these things. They are unbelievable when it comes to robustness and being able to absolutely abuse them without any fear of snapping. There's just been a lovely float that throughout the process, I simply can't break these. They're unbreakable pretty much without being sensible, without getting the old sledgehammer out. It's just a lovely float that does what it says on the tin, but with simple features that make them work as pellet wagglers are meant to. For the job that they're created for, I honestly do not believe there's a better Waggler that you can get.